Welcome. Week 15, fantasy playoffs have officially started. We probably might not get some people in here till about 11:30 because I did say last week that we'd start a little bit later, but I changed my mind and thought we could end early instead. But luckily, Rob Kane has a million questions for us queued up, which is super awesome because it keeps us busy. And then our own Sully's got a question in there, and we'll answer Rob Kane's questions first before we answer Rob Sully's question. So he comes in, starts in. He's in the playoffs. Good. Congratulations.
Let's go.
And then we start off with Pittman, Elijah Moore, or Sincere McCormick to start it off.
Yeah, I think I'm Elijah Moore here. I'm a little bit hesitant with the Colts passing game. Denver's a pretty stout defense. Denver's even better defensively at home, it seems. I think Sincere McCormick is a pretty cool story. I just don't know what to expect from him on Monday. So I think, Rob Kane. I think I'm going to go with Elijah Moore here.
Yeah, I know the weather for this game is a little bit interesting, but it doesn't really. I think I'm going to be with you here. The problem with Sincere McCormick is he doesn't really get much PPR value, which is fine. You know, we've seen running backs like that succeed in the NFL. Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, but the thing is, they've been on teams that score. That have been able to score touchdowns, and that team just doesn't. So, and Michael Pittman, I think, arguably is probably the biggest bust at the wide receiver position this year, in comparison to what he did last year. He's only had 4 games above 10 points this entire season, and I don't think any of those. I don't think he's eclipsed 20 points once, if I'm not mistaken.
My gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's yet to eclipse 20 points this entire season. Has only eclipsed over 10 points four times. And if I believe 2 of those were with Joe Flacco. So it's not looking good. We got Josh Downs coming back as well, which I think is bad for him. So, and I'm trying to look up here Elijah Moore to see what he's kind of done with since Jameis has been the quarterback. And I know it's been pretty darn good.
And the biggest reason I like it is because Jameis needs something in the middle of the field, and it's really looking like Njoku is going to be out. And I don't think Jordan Akins is really that much of a safe gap for him. So I think that Elijah Moore can get it underneath those zones, kind of like they did to Denver. Like they just kind of sat down in that zone, and Jameis just peppered him. That's a game they threw almost 500 yards, right? I just looked up Sincere McCormick just for fun. He's had 5 targets in his 3 starts. So. Yeah. I think you're right about that. So he did his best games, 2 catches for 11 yards because Max Crosby's out, right? He's going to have surgery and he's out for the season. So Atlanta should move the ball at will because Cousins won't have the pressure that he normally would. So the Raiders are probably chasing that game like crazy. But to your point, that's more Madison and Amir Abdullah, Jacoby Myers, Brock Bowers than it is Sincere McCormick. So yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, Elijah Moore. I will say Elijah Moore's been pretty inconsistent this year, but I will say he's put up double digits, single digits, followed by double digits, single digits multiple times, and he had single digit last week. So we could be in for a big week this week if he can follow that same trend with Njoku out. I think he has an amazing floor today, and they're probably going to have to be throwing the entire. I mean, the Browns are going to have to be throwing the entire game anyway, but. Makes for a good situation for a guy like Elijah Moore that people probably sleep on it at this point. So solid, probably last spot in your lineup to plug one of those guys in.
Do you want to go?
Yeah, we can. He did put in a yeah. Go ahead, click on it.
Oh, why is it not working for me?
It worked for me.
There you go.
Okay, hit that like button. Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate you, man.
Really appreciate that. And we're going to continue answering all these questions you got queued up for us. So we got Bo Nix or Sam Darnold. We got a QB question here.
I like this question. I'm on Sam Darnold this week. He's on fire. I do like Bo Nix as well. I'm just looking at my ranks real quick. Darnold at 7, Nix at 12. So I think they're both top 12 starts. I just think, go back a couple of weeks, Sam Darnold was pretty solid against the Bears. They seem to be kind of fading a little bit in terms of their offense, and their defense is on the field a lot, and they look a little gassed. So I like them both, but I'm going to go with my guy, Sam Darnold.
Yeah, Sam Darnold did put up 25 points against the Bears last time, and even though they're a top 3 against opposing fantasy quarterbacks this season, that would have led me to believe to maybe steer clear of him. But after last week, I think you got to ride that hot hand, and I've been saying that all year round. So give me Sam Darnold. Seems like he's kind of getting things figured out on how to use all those weapons finally.
He's been real clutch for the Vikings the last whatever winning streak they're on right now. After they lost those 2 back-to-back, he's been, I think they've won 5 or 6 in a row. He's been really good. It's been a long time. There was a stat in the game when they played Atlanta last week that Cousins had thrown 8 interceptions since his last touchdown pass, and Darnold has thrown 11 touchdowns since his last interception. So I thought that was kind of interesting. He's rolling.
Yep. Jacoby or Amari Cooper?
This is really easily Jacoby for me.
Yeah, Jacoby Myers, ever since the departure of Devontae Adams, has been a solid, very, very solid fantasy asset. I don't think I can – you know what? Who's the starting quarterback today? Is it Desmond Ridder?
I don't think they've named it yet. I know that it sounds like it's Ridder, but O'Connell wants to play, but I don't know. I think they just put Ridder in there and call it a day.
Yeah, even then, I'm probably still going to stick with him. I'd feel more comfortable with O'Connell, but Amari Cooper is literally the definition of inconsistent, and he just hasn't quite put up consistent enough numbers for me with Buffalo to really put him in there. Even though this is a good matchup for him, should be a high scoring affair in that game today. But every time you say that it's going to be a high scoring affair, it ends up being low scoring. But I don't think these offenses.
I think you're okay saying this one will be high scoring.
Yeah,
because I
don't think. Yeah, this should be the Super Bowl. This could be the Super Bowl matchup, and I'd be very entertained. These are the 2 most exciting teams to watch this year when it comes to scoring. Yeah,
let's go Bills.
makes sense why you'd want them. Marvin Harrison Jr. or Quentin Johnston?
I'm on Marvin Harrison Jr. here. I know that he's got a decently tough matchup this week, but I just think he's starting to get a little bit more target share in that offense, and him and Kyler look a little bit better together. So I'll go Marvin Harrison Jr. here.
Yeah, I just have a really sick feeling that both of these guys get single digits today. But with that being said, when I have that feeling, I guess I'll go with the guy that is the more talented player, and that is Marvin Harrison Jr. Even though Quentin Johnson is really shocking people to this year.
And he's got a really good matchup against Tampa. They are really bad against the pass.
Yeah.
He dropped the ball.
It's probably Quentin Johnston.
It might be, but I'm going to still stick with
yeah.
Marvin
have
Harrison.
to.
I think it was either last week or the week before where QJ dropped a pass, and it was his first drop of the season, which is insane because he couldn't catch a cold last year. So
he also might have the best catch of the season. The most impressive when he got absolutely drilled and bent backwards and still caught that ball.
He got absolutely hammered on that
and
catch.
Got right back up. That dude is it might be a little bit better than people think. I don't think he's going to be some superstar, but I think he might be a solid guy to have on your roster for plug-in for bye weeks and things like that moving forward for fantasy. Herbert or Mahomes?
I'm Justin Herbert here. I just kind of alluded to the Tampa Bay passing defense. It's quite bad. And Herbert looks to be remotely healthy after injuring his ankle and his thigh last week, but looks like Lab McConkey's going to be back. QJ, Palmer. He's got a ton of weapons. I know he's down Will Dissly, but what's that guy's name? Stone Smart, which is a cool name. Should be a wrestler, not a football player, but he looks pretty capable as well. So I'm on Herbert here. I'm a little bit worried about Mahomes. Raining game, slightly windy in Cleveland. I think it might be a game where they run the ball a lot more than they normally would.
Yeah, I'll go Herbert too. He also has been more mobile this season, which is adding a little bit of value. So, I'm going to go with Herbert as well. Adams or Metcalf? This is easily Adams for me. I've been on Adams now for a while.
And I was kind of funny last week. I was all on Garrett Wilson. You were all on Devontae Adams, and they both had a good game. So I'm with you on Adams on this one. DK's not healthy. There's something wrong with him. Plus, Geno's been missing him. Geno missed him on 2 wide open throws. So Geno seems to have eyes for JSN these days. So I'm on Adams.
Yeah, I mean, Adams and Wilson are kind of like when we saw, I guess you could say T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, but there's a clear alpha in that one where these guys kind of just split evenly. Kind of reminds me of a Mike Evans, Chris Godwin when Jameis was there.
Yeah.
or even I guess when just in general, both of those guys can easily put up 15 to 20 points every week, and you don't bat an eye. We've seen it now twice with Adams and Garrett Wilson in recent weeks, where both of those guys have had good fantasy value. So I feel confident putting both of them in my lineup, and I just have Adams a little bit more than Garrett Wilson moving forward.
Yeah, I have Adams 5 spots ahead of Garrett Wilson, so we're in line this week.
Pretty close. Emil, with Tillman and Njoku possibly out, would you start Elijah Moore over Devontae Smith in 14-team PPR? Interesting.
I think the answer is yes. I'm just going to double check my rankings. They're back to back. I have Devonta 1 spot higher.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick
with
Smith too, but I think you're gonna say what I think it too. It's just like it just seems like a good week for Elijah Moore.
It does, but I also have a feeling that with all the stuff that's been going on with the Eagles, that I know they have a tough matchup with the Steelers, but we've seen teams like Jameis just recently throw pretty well on the Steelers. If they can protect the quarterback, if they can keep Hurts upright, and Hurts can keep himself upright with his mobility, I think that especially AJ is going to get what am I talking about? Sorry. AJ Brown, I think, is going to get a ton of targets to quiet that down. But I think Devonta's going to get some residual. So I think it's very close. Like I said, I have back-to-back in my rankings, so I just have Smith 1 spot higher.
Yeah, I'll go with Smith. No Goddard. If Goddard was there, I probably would go Elijah Moore. But he's not.
That's a good point, too.
He's out for the season. Both tight ends being out help these wide receivers that we're talking about. And
I agree.
Yep, I think it's an AJ Brown day today. They've kind of almost set it up for that with the he and Jalen Hurts not liking each other apparently, or whatever that media is trying to portray. I don't believe it one bit. But I think they make a statement today by getting him involved early and often, getting some big plays down the field with him. Big day for AJ Brown coming.
I was listening to a podcast that has Chase Daniel on it, and he said every single locker room in the NFL all season long has guys at odds with each other. There's a rift with whatever. He said it just never goes to the media. And for some reason, this one did. And I think they're trying to create a narrative that squeaky wheel gets grease kind of thing. So I'm with you. I think that he goes crazy today.
Yeah, this happens with this is like very Stephon Diggs-esque. It's like he'll put up like a bunch of like okay numbers, but they'd always have a game here and there they just completely blow up. And I feel like that hasn't happened for AJ Brown yet this season, or very seldomly. So I think
he's been hurt too. So
he's getting pissed off about it, and he probably wants a lot of these guys got egos, especially wide receivers for some reason. And
the best ones always do. They're all nuts.
Yep. But, that's what you get, Who else like it? Terrell Owens was like that. I like how Terrell Owens and Donovan McNabb got involved in the Eagles and the beef. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. McNabb tweeted about it, and then Terrell was like, that's funny hearing that from you. I love it.
Yeah.
Martin Holk asks, PPR start three flex. Okay. Najee, Brees, Downs, Myers, Shakir, Reed, and Odunze.
Interesting. Who's your one?
Brees.
I think I'm with you there.
I think my 2 is Myers.
Yeah, my 2 is either Myers or Najee. Tough matchup for Najee, though. Jeez. I think I'm going to go Brees, Myers, Shakir.
I think I'm also going Brees, Myers, and Shakir. Oh, man. Dalton Kincaid is back this week, and I feel like that could be a problem for Shakir. I think it might hurt Shakir a little bit.
Coleman's back too.
Yeah. No, I think it might help. Brees, Myers, Shakir. Man, that's tough. Reed and Odunze are out for me. Reed started the season off hot and has really been just like super inconsistent this season. I could see that might change moving forward. I really like Reed as a fantasy option. Odunze is the number 3, so it's just really hard. We're going to see weeks like last week. I thought we'd see weeks like that throughout this year, but very few and far in between, which has been accurate. So he's got a decent ceiling, but just a really low floor is my problem. When a lot of these guys have really solid floors, really solid floors. So I'll go with all the floors. I think Brees, Myers, and Shakir are all safe floors.
Shakir, as long as Brees is okay, then yeah.
Yeah, if he's not limited, I mean, Braylon Allen really didn't do it much for him. He got a little bit involved in the pass game, which is what I expected, but he just didn't have. They didn't have any touchdowns.
It's a pretty nice matchup against Jacksonville too, from a running back perspective. So I'm definitely Brees by one. Yeah.
Yep.
We're the same there.
This is rather easy for me. Charbonnet or Dowdle?
It's Charbonnet for me. I have Charbonnet at 6 as my running back 6 this week, and I think that I don't expect what he did last week, although I really needed to do it.
You can't. You can't. You can't expect that.
I think he still owns 90% of the touches out of that backfield, and will do just fine against who the heck do they play this week? That's tonight. They played the Packers, so I think it'd be a good game for Charbonnet.
Yeah, big game too. I mean, that any game in that division is important. Charbonnet, I'm glad he was our answer a lot last week because
go Seahawks.
Blew up.
I have Dowdle at 13, so I try to flex him somewhere if you can.
Yeah. PPR, no tight end premium. Hawkinson or Andrews?
I think I'm Andrews here. It'll be close. No, I'm Hawkinson. Sorry.
I'm also Hawkinson. I feel like this game could get out of hand very quickly, and I understand that there's the reasoning of that is, well, they have to score a lot, and Andrews could be a part of that. I just think they run all over the Giants today, and it gets out of hand. If it gets out of hand quickly, it just takes a lot of playing time for Andrews potentially out of that game. So I'll go with Hawkinson. I feel like the Vikings are always in a fun game to watch, so they're always throwing it.
Yeah, we're definitely going to throw it a lot. So Hawkinson's a good option, staying away from Jalen Johnson and Gordon, right? So it could be a good game for him. He seems to be getting a little bit better each week.
All right. Olrak. Good morning, everyone. Morning, buddy.
Morning.
Follows it up with PPR need 2 wide receivers, 2 running back, 1 flex. We got Thielen, McLaurin, Mooney, Ladd, Downs, Charbonnet, Tracy, and then Chase Brown. So let's start with the wide receivers. We got Thielen, McLaurin, Mooney, Ladd, and Downs. Which 2 are you starting here?
McLaurin and Ladd.
I will go with McLaurin and Thielen, but I can already look at this and say I'm going to flex Ladd.
And I'm flexing Thielen, so that's fine. And then I'm at running backs are easy.
Yeah, running backs are Charbonnet and Brown, right?
100%.
Yeah. I like Tyrone Tracy. I think he's a good fantasy asset moving forward with a team that's going to rebuild. The one position I would imagine they just don't worry about is running back because they had an elite running back and they still sucked, right, in the past. So let's build everything but that. So Tyrone Tracy is a good fantasy asset moving forward. It's just this is a tough matchup today. I mean,
these are all good options, right? Like, I left Mooney and Downs on my bench here, and I like them both. So good on you for building a team this solid. Sometimes building a solid team can give you a bit of headaches in the opposite direction in times like this, and this is what you're dealing with. But Thielen's on fire. McLaurin should have a good one. And I like those running backs for sure. So good luck to you, man.
RCA, I need a tight end in full PPR. Pitts, Calcaterra, Juwan Johnson, or Stone Smart. Thanks for the help. Tell you, it's not Kyle Pitts. It's not.
Unreal.
Yeah, it's not Kyle Pitts. He might be last for me on this.
So here's my rankings. Pitts 18, Johnson 19, Smart 20, Calcaterra 24. That said, I'm starting Calcaterra.
I think it's Calcaterra for me as well.
He's the most likely to score, I think. That's why he's in. He goes in.
Yeah, and I think he's the least likely to get you 0.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I mean, Pitts is definitely the most likely to get you 0 for sure.
I just want to look at
Smart.
His Pitts has been just.
He got one target. I don't even think he had a target till the fourth quarter last week. I just don't think he's a good route runner. I think he's lazy. Yeah, that's what I told somebody too the other day. He's like, I don't think he's lazy. I was like, dude, you cannot be that big, that fast, and that strong and not get separation unless you're lazy. I don't know. Maybe he's just tired of where he's at. He's one of those guys I could see thrives in a new a change of scenery for sure. With that being said, he might be a good target in dynasty leagues because a change of scenery could be really good for him.
In his last 3 weeks, and he had a bye week in there, he has 11 targets, 2 catches, and 23 yards.
Mm-hmm. He's averaging that's less than 2 points a game. Horrible.
He pisses me off like nobody's business.
And he started off the year so hot.
And he's good. Like he should be good. Anyway.
Yeah. It's all right. We have Brock Bowers to make us feel better.
Give me Calcaterra here.
Yeah, I think so too. Hey guys, playoffs need to be on point.
You betcha.
Oh, he follows up with a question here in a second. We'll get to it quickly. Olrak asks, Njoku versus the Chiefs or Ertz versus New Orleans? It's looking like this decision's made for you. Am I wrong?
No, it's looking that way. What I read this morning is Njoku will try to warm up and see if he can go. But if he does, I got to think he's limited anyway. And Ertz is in a good spot here. So Noah Brown is gone for Washington, and he was kind of Daniel's number 2 target behind McLaurin. I think that Washington kind of spreads out that secondary passing residually over Zacchaeus and Diami Brown, but Ertz as well. So I'm comfortably on Ertz here unless all of a sudden he goes full ham Njoku and is all of a sudden really healthy. I'll hold our spot here. We got a super chat in there.
Yeah, we got to say I'm also going Ertz as well. Even if Njoku goes, I would have a fear that he's limited. So Ertz has 100%. Been solid this year. So yep. You got the spot held. I'll go to the super chat.
Yeah,
we got a super chat. Obviously, guys, if you put in a super chat, you skip to the front of the line, so which is why we had to those first. Thank you so much. Other than that, we just go right in order. PPR, start 1 QB, Daniels or Allen.
Allen, but seriously, you're good either way, bud.
Yep, Allen for sure. It's easy. Start 1 tight end, Calcaterra, Smart, Komet, Chig, or Schultz.
I think it's Schultz for me.
It's going to be Schultz for me as well. And then start 2 flex. J-Mo, Jameson Williams, Josh Downs, Tank Dell, Leggett, Westbrook Ikhine.
So let's pull my ranks up here real quick. The first one will be J-Mo, I'm almost positive. Because that
I think it's
kind of talked about that.
Yeah, it's going to be the first 2 for me. I do want every part of that game today because that game could be the over-under could be 80 points, and I still would be nervous to take the under. I'll take J-Mo, and then I'm actually going to take Josh Downs as my second option.
So I definitely have Dell over Leggett and West Ikhine, even though the guy will probably score a touchdown this week. I'm just trying to figure out every time Josh Downs plays with Richardson, I get a little bit nervous. So, and he does play against the Broncos. I have Downs at 40. Yeah, that is what I'm doing though. It's J-Mo and Downs is my 2 flux guys there. So I'm happy that we align ourselves.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Braveheart. Hopefully that helps you out.
I hope so too. You got it?
Jordan. Yep, I got it. Jordan asked, Mike Evans or Brian Robinson Jr.?
I'm on Evans here.
Yeah, I'll go with Mike.
I really like them
Evans.
both.
Yep. Absolutely. I'm going Mike Evans as well. I do think they're going to try and get him his 1,000 yards, I feel like. So
where's he at?
I don't know. He didn't do anything super crazy last week, but I don't think he did bad either. Matt Brown, screw you. No, I'm just kidding. He's in
Dynasty Matt Brown.
This guy.
He's in a tough one this week in one of our bonus leagues.
He used to be on the stream with us back in the day.
He did. He's a legend.
As soon as the stream ended, he was gone.
Holy, I don't think Matt.
Hello, Jim, and help.
Yeah.
Start 2 PPR. You don't need help. His team's so loaded. He's such a little bitch for this.
Is this your Grand Prix?
Yeah, I'm out. That's the one I should have made the damn playoffs. It's one I traded. I traded CMC for Murray yesterday, right before the two out of it teams traded right before. So he's got Higgins, Ladd, Judy, and Thielen. Start 2.
So the first one's Ladd, the first one's easy. It's Higgins for me. The second one's tough.
Yeah, it's Higgins for me as well. He's been really, really solid this year outside of last week. I know Matt's probably got a sore spot for him because Higgins puts up, I think he could clarify, but I know that he needed a certain amount from Higgins and it wasn't much. And if he would have got it, he would have got the number 1 seed, most points scored for the week, and a first round bye in the playoffs. And now he's the 3 seed, didn't get the high score. So it would have been quite a difference in pay. That was a big loss money wise for him, but he's still pretty loaded team in the playoffs. This is Higgins and Judy for me.
Yeah, that's where I'm sort of flip-flopping, right? I think it's Higgins and McConkey for me just because of the Tampa matchup. Adding in the weather in Cleveland might deter the throwing game a little bit. But Judy's on such a heater right now, and him and Winston are totally in lockstep. So
if I'm not mistaken, he's like wide receiver 3 since Winston has taken over. So,
I can look it up, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
When you go off for
honestly,
200 – when you go off for 200 and whatever and a couple of scores, it's going to do that for you. But
yeah, I want to clarify. I would have Judy as my number 1 and Higgins as my number 2 here. I just want to clarify that. I want to clarify that.
I'm not there. I'm looking at it. I got Higgins at 16, McConkey at 18, Judy at 19 this week. So they're all bucketed together. I really like Adam Thielen this week, and he's not even close in this contest question for me. So
yeah, they're all really not far from me.
Matt, I think you flip a coin on a 3-sided coin on these guys, and you start 2 of the 3. But this is a guy who wouldn't trade me Joe Flacco when I needed him in a league this year, so I don't really care what you do.
Yeah, screw you, Matt. His team's super good in that league, too.
He did me a favor by not trading me Flacco. So
I remember I offered him a trade for like Swift before Swift was even good, and he was like, "That's offensive," and I was like,
well, I don't offend.
And then Swift ended up being like shitty.
I think I was offering him a 2nd or a 3rd for Flacco, so I think I was doing good.
Joey Flacco. All right, Johnny, we're going to try and be on here for you. Full PPR.
Got to be on point.
2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a flex, a tight end. We got Moore. I'm going to imagine that's DJ Moore.
Would have to be.
Adams, JSN, Metcalf, Hopkins, Bucky Irving, B-Rob, Jacobs, Pollard, Bowers. There's no or for Bowers. It's Bowers.
Okay, let's
get that one out of the way.
Do the tight end right away. It's Bowers.
Yeah, I don't care about the Raiders offense.
In permanent ink, I don't give a shit either.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go with running back since there's only 3 options here. Bucky, B-Rob, Pollard. There's 4. Bucky, B-Rob, Jacobs, Pollard. Easily Jacobs.
Yeah, and Robinson for me.
And Robinson. I feel like
I'm a little worried about Bucky, right? He missed practice most of the week. He's going to play. But no, I think B-Rob goes crazy.
Yeah, that's right, because Rashad White 8 last week. Yeah, I'll go with B-Rob and Jacobs.
Teams are running
good for some touchdowns.
And the teams are running on the Saints like crazy. So I'm on Robinson and Jacobs, and then we go to two wide receivers between DJ Moore, Devontae Adams. I think we're both on Adams. JSN, Metcalf, and Hopkins. I am JSN and Adams.
It's JSN and Adams for me as well. And then who are we flexing? Moore, Metcalf, Hopkins, Bucky, Pollard. Yep, Bucky or Pollard. I'm going to flex.
I'm going to flex DJ Moore.
Yep.
He's going to.
If by chance that is Elijah Moore, I will flex Metcalf. But I think that's DJ Moore. So I will go with DJ.
Yeah, I think DJ Moore is going to have a nice
game.
What? Probably.
Yep. I'll take that back. I'm going to flex D-Hop over Metcalf. D-Hop has been actually a really nice target machine this year and kind of gives you a really safe floor. I like floor plays with flexes a lot of times too. In the playoffs, I'll take that. Metcalf's just been inconsistent. I'll take the consistency D-Hop's kind of given.
Yeah, I'm on DJ Moore. If it's DJ Moore, I'm on. I'm not going to flex Metcalf just because I'm not flexing the same guy, and I hate doing that. I would probably go crazy and flex to either Bucky or Pollard. I don't want
It's DJ Moore. It's DJ
okay,
Moore.
So it's DJ Moore's my flex. He plays against the Vikings. Nobody gives up more points to the fantasy points to wide receivers in Minnesota. Teams throw on Minnesota more than any other team in the league, and you can beat Minnesota's secondary. So it'd be DJ.
Yep, easily. Those 3 wide receivers are pretty in a tier that by themselves.
And then you have something to wait for Monday night. You have something to watch.
Yep.
It's a bonus.
With it being Ritter, Myers, or Jaden Reed?
Myers.
Jacoby Myers. Yeah.
If Bryce was starting for the Raiders this week, it would probably still be Myers because Bryce.
And I love Jacoby Myers. I'd be throwing it his way.
Because Bryce would throw the ball to Myers 15 times, and so will Desmond Ridder, and so would Aiden O'Connell, and so would anybody else they put back there. So.
Yeah, it hurts my soul to watch Jacoby Myers. I really wish he was a Patriot still.
Just grab your mini helmet, hug, and have a nap. You'll be okay.
Yep. Sit one PPR, fellas. Charbonnet, Dowdle, and David Montgomery. What a bunch of options here.
Okay, this is insane, but I'm sitting David Montgomery.
I will sit Rico Dowdle.
Yep, I don't hate it.
Yep.
I got Dowdle against Carolina. I think I have him ranked 13th. I think I have Monty at 16 this week.
Yeah.
So
these are all really good options. It's just,
oh my God.
Monty just has
he scores every week.
Upside. Yeah, he scores every week and sometimes two. So I just can't.
Yeah.
They all great options. It's crazy. You got to sit one of those. Stevenson, Thielen, or Mooney, PPR. Good to see Ramondre back in questions.
I think I'm Mooney here. It might be Thielen.
This is Thielen for me.
He's been so good for Bryce.
You picked Thielen over Mooney earlier in a question.
Did I? Then it is.
You did. You flexed him. You flexed him over him.
That's right. I'll contradict myself.
Or, yeah, you picked Ladd as the number 2. I do like Stevenson this week too. Just feel like he falls in the end zone, but just 2.
Hey, look at that! I got Thielen ranked ahead of Mooney. Actually, I have Ramondre ranked the highest, so maybe I'll go Ramondre.
I don't mind that. It's close between Ramondre. These are all good options. Again, 3 really close options for me. It's just Thielen. I don't know. But Ramondre definitely has a scary floor, which is why I kind of almost go to these, which is crazy to think the running back has the worst floor of these 3 options, but he does. I just don't see Thielen not getting at least like 10 points now that he's the only guy to throw the ball to. So
Njoku is out.
Yep. Okay.
I have Ramondre at 58 overall, Thielen at 63, and Mooney at 65. So let's roll with my rankings, pretending like they're good.
Fair enough. Okay. Pitts or Jawan Johnson? Any other tight ends possible on the waiver wire you'd prefer over them? Yeah, there are definitely some possibilities on the waiver wire if you could mention who's out there, but who would you pick in case, I guess, the waiver wire is extremely thin?
These guys are back-to-back in my rankings. Pitts at 18, Johnson at 19. I'm going to stay on Pitts here. Guys that I could see being on waivers that I would consider is Calcaterra, Stone Smart, Jeremy Ruckert with Tyler Conklin out for the Jets this week would be a dart throw. That's about it for me. Depends on the size of your league, obviously, and who's on waivers. So like Bryce said, if you can let us know who's out there, we can help you out. But begrudgingly, I will stay on Kyle Pitts here and hold my nose.
Yeah, me too, I guess.
Zane Gonzalez is out, and Greg Joseph is kicking for Washington, if anybody likes kickers.
I didn't know who that was. I do know Greg Joseph. I didn't know that name. All right, Johnny. Been here all year. Obviously, we've helped you out enough to get questions in week 15, which is nice. So second league, full PPR, 1 QB, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, and a flex, and a tight end. Tight end is answered for you, luckily. So we got Brown, AJ Brown, Evans, Higgins, Collins, D-Hop, JSN. I remember you asking questions about this last week. Then we got Pollard, Pacheco, Henry, Kamara, and Njoku, Ertz. Okay, let's start with the running backs because that's the easiest one, right? It's Henry and Kamara by a landslide.
It's Henry by a landslide. It's Kamara by a bit over Pacheco, but it's still those 2 for me.
Ertz is your tight end. You don't have any other options.
Yeah, and I think your wide receivers are your first 2, aren't they? And then I flex Higgins.
I
think I start Brown and Evans and flex Higgins with Henry,
Nico?
Kamara, and Ertz. Oh shit! No, I'm not.
Yeah, it's Brown and Nico for me. Holy crap! It's between Evans and Higgins.
Who's my flex? Higgins or Evans?
Yeah, Brown and Nico. Man, you know what?
Guys in your good teams.
I'm flexing JSN.
I'm
flexing JSN. Yep, I'm flexing JSN. I'm going to look up his numbers real quick, but I think they're absurd.
This is my wide receiver rankings. This is how good this team is. Nico at 2 this week. I have Brown at 6.
All right, I'm going to give you some.
I have Evans and Higgins back to back, and I have Higgins 1 spot higher, so I will go with T Higgins. Go ahead.
Since week 8, and he has 1 bye in here. He has 13, 37, 22, 20, 12, 20. That's JSN's numbers.
Yeah, he's been good. That's why I have him over Metcalf.
He is wide receiver number 6 on the season. He's a must start. Yeah, I can't bench him.
He's a must start over AJ Brown, T. Higgins, and Nico Collins.
He is a must start. He is a must start over Evans, and Higgins. Brown and Collins. I would argue if they're honestly, if they didn't have all this media stuff, I would consider him over AJ Brown. But I really think AJ Brown's about to blow up today. But JSN, I mean, his targets are insane too. Well, actually, the targets. What did he do last week? Last week, 5 for 82 and a touchdown.
Yeah, that's not bad.
He's catching almost everything. I mean, his targets really aren't that insane the last 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah, because they got that last week's game got out of hand quickly, right? Then they blow up and kill Arizona.
They did get off the half they were up.
But he's catching almost everything. I mean, if you, in the last 4 weeks, he has caught all but 2 targets. Yeah. So, yep, I'm gonna go Jackson Smith and Jigba there. That's tough though. I mean, it's not like I'm like he's a must start, but so is Evans and Higgins most times. But
those first 4 wide receivers start before JSN for me, but they all start for me, except for Hopkins.
Do we have ourselves a $5 bet, my friend?
Yeah,
I'm up $5 on the year.
Which
one do you want? You get one. You know what? Sure. You can take Evans and Higgins, not combined, obviously. I'll take JSN.
No. There you go. I'll take it.
I like this next question. I love it.
Sorry, I had to update my kicker rankings because I know how people care about them so much.
May or Mahomes?
Mahomes.
This is May for me.
No, don't be stupid. Come on.
It's not stupid though. Like if you let's look at I bet May's averages this year is more than I wouldn't be surprised if his average is more than Mahomes. Well, they're going to count the games that he barely played, right? So May put up 22 last week. Let me see. Let's look. 22, 22, 25, 26. His rushing is what really gets him the extra points that can make up for the lack of touchdowns that they score. And I think they score touchdowns today. That's the problem.
I think Arizona's defense is a lot better than people think they are. They have been slumping lately. I think I shouldn't have said don't be stupid. That wasn't fair or polite, but I would say that
that doesn't bother me.
I would say that it's closer than it should be, but I will still take Mahomes.
I mean, if you look at Mahomes has really one big game in the past 5 weeks, and he had 36 against Carolina. Absolutely went off in that week, and that's good. He also got that 30-yard rushing play at the end of the half that won him the game, and obviously nice little fancy points there, but. He's just putting up similar numbers to May. May's got a little bit more 25-point games than him because of that rushing upside. I don't know. The weather today probably is the only reason I'm picking May. Mahomes would probably be my answer if that weather was supposed to be extremely clear.
If anybody is wondering, Tony Pollard and Breece Hall, both questionable, are active. David Njoku, Tyler Conklin, Keaton Mitchell, which doesn't really matter much. KJ Osborne, I don't know where he's been these days. And Zane Gonzalez are all inactive for the early games.
You got our spot. We got another super chat from our boy Johnny.
I got it. Yep.
Oh, geez, I don't like it. Sorry, Johnny. Pick one defense: Chicago, Washington, Cincinnati, Arizona, Carolina, or Atlanta.
Feel bad taking money for a defensive question. Chicago, Washington, Cincinnati, Atlanta.
It's not Chicago.
It's Washington for me.
It's not Cincinnati. It's Arizona for me.
Yeah, I'll take Washington against Jake Hayner and the Saints.
Yeah. I do think the Patriots could score. That game could actually be a little more high scoring than people think today with Arizona and New England. But New England's got the worst tackles in the league, the worst combo. Arizona's destined to get probably 3 sacks. I don't know how your league plays defenses. Some leagues get 2 points for sacks. Some get 1. There's 3 to 6 points just right there on sacks. Drake May is a rookie, likes to throw the ball down the field. You're prone for an interception there. I think they just get, depending on your scoring, 5 to 8 points and sacks / turnovers right there.
You're on Arizona?
Yeah, I'm on Arizona here.
Yeah,
I like any defense playing the Patriots because the Patriots' offensive line is horrendous.
Well,
it's ranked the worst in the league by PFF.
Nobody knows the Patriots better than you do. Just to put it in context, I have Washington at 4 and Arizona at 6. So I just think that Jake Haener can throw some picks and probably get some sacks and throw up all over himself. And he has no weapons, right? He has Kamara and nothing else. So he might have to force some shit. But I think Arizona's a good pick too. I have Arizona going in one league that I'm in that plays a defense this week.
And we got another super chat. Thank you, Johnny, for that.
I'm holding the spot.
Yep. And then James O'Shea, please and thank you. Pick 2 wide receivers, 0.5 PPR, I imagine. Downs, Dell, Reed, Devonta Smith.
I think I'm Downs and Smith here.
I am also Downs and Smith here. Yep. Devontae is my number 1, I will say. And then Downs.
Him and Downs are close, but mine too.
Okay. Thank you for those super chats, guys. Always get you to the front of the line.
Greatly appreciate that.
And then, go ahead. Mahomes or Darnold?
Sticking with my boy Sam.
I'm going Sam Darnold as well. I might have a source, but I might be biased because Mahomes killed me in fantasy leagues last year in the playoffs. He and Kelsey completely shit the bed last year, week like 15, 16, and 17. So,
It's just such a defining example of how fantasy and real life don't really align. Like no one in their wildest dreams is taking Sam Darnold over Patrick Mahomes. And like, if you could start any quarterback this week, who would you want? It's not going to be
for
Sam
your real
Darnold,
team. Yeah.
Right. But the reality is Sam Darnold's been really good. And Patrick Mahomes does just enough to win. So I think Darnold is the answer here. I don't think Mahomes is a bad start, but if I have to pick and you're making me, I'm taking Sam Darnold.
I'm on it. Pacheco or Marvin Harrison. This is Pacheco.
Pacheco here.
Yeah, we got clarity last week. I think we finally got some clarity on the usage for that backfield, and it's heavily Pacheco.
Hunt's cooked. Yeah.
Yep. He was a good guy. It was like Jordan Mason, right? He was a good guy to plug in until the starter came back.
Yeah.
And the starter went out for them again, and Jordan Mason went with him.
And good for Kareem Hunt. He got a job for a couple of months and got an extra couple.
Might get a Super Bowl ring out of it.
I hope not. Enough of that.
Well, I hope not, but there's a decent chance, right? That
sure
team,
is.
Even though, the AFC, really the top teams in both divisions this year. There's a lot. I feel like there's way more. Holy crap! Which teams could make it this year than there was last year?
I think that loss to the Rams really hurt Buffalo's chances because it really hurt their chances of the 1 seed, and I think they'd probably like to have it, but we'll see.
Yeah. And then Josh Allen just breaks records while losing 3 rushing touchdowns and 3 passing touchdowns. What a freaking maniac! The game before, a receiving, a catching, and a throwing touchdown. Right now, to me, there's not even a really close second for MVP, especially how we're playing down the stretch. But there's still,
I think if Saquon
could break 3 weeks.
I think if Saquon could break the rushing record, you got to give it to him.
Yeah, it's just in all reality, MVP, most valuable player. Quarterback is the most valuable player on any team.
I actually think the most valuable player in the NFL this year has been Joe Burrow, but his defense has been so bloody horrific that it's killed him. So
you could argue it's his wide receiver too.
He's up there, no doubt.
Those two are insane together. That touchdown where he wasn't even looking yet, and Burrow just put it in the perfect spot last week was
I am
really entertaining to watch.
I am finally Chase over Jefferson in my dynasty rankings. I finally got there.
Yeah, my QBs are Allen or Daniels. Yeah, it's Allen all day.
There's no one I'm starting over Josh Allen this week. And Daniels is, I think, I have Daniels at
Josh Allen just put up 60 points last week.
He put up the
most 50 something.
It was the most points in fantasy in the last 20 something years or something at the quarterback.
Was it? I thought didn't Mike Vick on that one night have like an insane amount?
He did. I had Vick in that game, and he had like 46 points at the half.
Yeah. That was probably.
He ended up with like 54 or something that week. So, but yeah, he's one of. It depends on how you score, right? If it's 4 or 6 point passing.
Yeah. But
I think. Allen, either way, who gives a shit? He scored you 50 points. Put him in your lineup.
55 or something. Good morning, PPR. Good morning. Pick one. Tracy, Metcalf, Pacheco.
I think Pacheco. I'm probably going to be Metcalf here, but let me look really
This is Pacheco for me.
It's close, man. It is Pacheco for me too.
Yep. He's just got such good.
3 spots higher than DK Metcalf. I'm kind of out on
Pacheco.
Tracy for a lot of the reasons that Bryce mentioned earlier this week. The team is just terrible, and that's a really tough matchup. Tough matchup. Garbage quarterback play. If he fumbles, he gets benched. Like, there's just so many things going against him that I like him. He's just up against it.
No problem. Thank you for the
Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it.
Thank you. The good one, I would do Pacheco or Metcalf. All right, well, it's Pacheco, Johnny. Just tell him Pacheco. Then we got 3-0.
Johnny, just remember it's playoffs.
That's that was the 2 options though. Easily.
Just remember it's playoffs. You got to be on point.
Yeah, on point. I asked the question in the chat down there, guys. If you're in the chat, you can answer it. It's probably going to say by Roto Heat, I imagine, somewhere in there. Yep, Roto Heat Fantasy Football Advice. Go ahead and answer that one, guys. Hello, guys. It's my first week of playoffs, and I started Cooper Kupp. Ooh, I need to make up for that loss. Who should I start? Isaiah Pacheco, Aaron Jones, Amari Cooper, or Bucky Irving. Please pick 2 of them.
So I really thought we would have more I'm in a deep hole after Thursday questions than this, because I have Cup going in one league and got a donut. Fortunately, the other places I have in my teams either miss the playoffs or on bye. But so I guess we're looking for ceiling, right?
Yeah,
I think Jones and Bucky give me the biggest ceiling because they can both score multiple times.
Yeah, but I just feel like so can Pacheco.
He's a floor guy.
Yeah, but he doesn't split the ball. That's the thing is
he doesn't catch either.
Well, he does. He does.
Yeah,
though.
like he catches like Sincere McCormick does, like 2 or 3 a game. Like both Bucky and Jones could have 4 or 5 catches. That's the only reason I'm there.
He did. I mean, Pacheco did have 4 targets last week. It's a decent amount for a running back like him. He catches all 4 of them. He has 18 touches. He is playing against Cleveland. I just worry about Bucky Irving coming off the injury, like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
I mean, in all reality, who has the ceiling here? And it's Amari Cooper. And that's why I'm thinking. I think Amari Cooper might be my play.
I understand where you're coming from, but I just don't think it is.
But that game today, that's got to be the game.
I get that.
It's got to be the ceiling play. I think it has to be the ceiling play. Whether we like it or not, like it has to be the ceiling play. I don't like it.
Poor football.
I don't
watching
like
his
it.
answer going, what the hell?
I don't like it. Because I think Amari Cooper also has the worst floor. But I think it'd be almost like he has to have the highest ceiling out of these guys.
I just don't think he does.
In fantasy points, right? Because, sure, these guys could get to the goal line and get 2 touchdowns. There gives you 12 points. But Amari Cooper could score a 60-yard touchdown, and that's also 13 points, right?
That's Keon Coleman's job, though.
I don't think it is with Amari Cooper there now. I don't know.
Oh,
I've got Amari Cooper and Isaiah Pacheco. No, I'm going Amari Cooper and Amari Cooper and Isaiah Pacheco.
And we're screwing you because I'm Aaron Jones and Bucky Irving. The good news is Cooper Kupp. The good news is Cooper Kupp is who really screwed you. So I wish you all the luck there is to have and obtain, but we're split on this one. Chat. Throw it in the chat, guys.
Help him out. Amari, I just the running backs to me are kind of interesting. Like I don't mind Aaron Jones or Bucky Irving over Pacheco, but I think the highest ceiling here has to be Amari. It has to be.
Doesn't Bucky have like a close to 40-point game this year?
I think he has one. Again, if Bucky Irving wasn't injured last week, he would easily be my answer here. I would say
That's
that.
Fair.
It would be I'd be Amari Cooper and Bucky Irving by a wide margin. I'm just worried about him potentially being limited, especially since they have backup running backs who are very capable of taking over and doing really well for them, which we saw last week with Rachaad White. Like if their backups sucked really bad and they're like, we need you and Bucky, like cool. Bucky Irving's going to still get touches even if he's banged up. But this week it's like they could keep him healthy and shift some of the load to Sean Tucker and Rachaad White because we saw Rachaad White do just fine last week.
That's fair. Oh, that's all.
Football de Noche said Jones or Irving. So he's with you on
both.
He's with you on both of them.
Aaron Jones over Irving.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He 0.64 points for the number 1 seed most and the high score of the week, which number 1 seed gets like $250 or something like that. So that's how much
each week
he lost. Number 1 seed. Yeah, and then $50 a week for high score. So he lost like $300.
You guys paid $250 to play in that league, right?
Yeah, correct. Yep.
Yeah, I can't afford that shit.
Yeah.
You know how much that is in Canadian dollars?
Happy football day. PPR, need to sit one. Pacheco, Ridley, or Jonathan Taylor?
Sitting Ridley here.
I am also sitting Ridley here. It was I don't know. The only offer I remember Flacco was Bo Melton, followed by the caption, "You get a free Bo Melton."
It was Flacco and either a third with Bo Melton. Free Bo Melton. Tell me that's not free Bo Melton.
It is, but is he even in the league anymore?
Look, here's how I do this, just so you know. When I am trading with someone and I'm going to have to drop someone, I just throw who I was going to drop into the trade. Mm-hmm. Let you worry about that shit. So that's what it was. I think it was a third Bo Melton. And tell me you wouldn't take that trade now, Matt.
Yeah, true. What's up? He's probably gone. He got his answer. He's out, dude. There's no way he's still in here. What's up? I'm probably going to need the Saints to make a game out of this week to have a solid chance. Either a shootout or a field goal fest serves my purpose. What are the chances it's competitive versus Washington?
I don't think it is. I think the Commanders, they need to win. I think the Commanders blow the doors off of the Saints, but partially they do that with their defense. That's kind of why I liked them earlier. But this is a get-right game for everybody in Washington. Like, New Orleans is cooked.
Yeah, I mean, you would ask this game if everybody for New Orleans was healthy. This could be very well a shootout and a fun game to watch. But there's just nobody. I mean, their two wide receivers are out. Their starting quarterback is out. It's Taysom Hill and
name three Saints. Name three Saints wide receivers.
I got Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and I could name them if them if I saw. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, I think you've got Cedric Wilson. I think is there right now. Like Kevin Austin, whoever the hell he is. I'm actually starting him in a league this week. Yeah, it's bad.
James Say put a question mark. I don't know if he meant to do that or not. But then he put a super chat in later, so maybe it was an accident.
James, I question us every week.
Yep. Need two. Sincere, Downs, Ray, Braylon, Keon Coleman, Curly starting White, but have Bucky Irving and K9, plus starting A. Rich for the Downs info. Bucky Irving, if Bucky Irving goes today, I'm putting him in.
Yeah.
Unless
you can take Braylon out because he's not going to be relative.
Yeah, it's Downs easily out of these options. Let's just go with the four options and let's say two. But Bucky Irving would be in there for me, and then Downs would easily be my number one. So if you need two and you don't have Bucky in there, Bucky and Downs for sure. But let's just go with his four that he asked. It'd be Downs and Keon Coleman.
I'd have Ray McLeod over Keon Coleman.
That's fair. I just want all the parts. I just want all the parts of that game. Well, he has been cooking. He always gets a big play, which
are Amari Cooper and Coleman going to catch the ball together and share it into the end zone? Like, how's this going to work?
I just know that two pass catchers for the Bills are going to have a good game today, and I think one of them for sure is going to be Shakir. The other one, it's got to be either Kincaid, Coleman, or Amari. And out of these options, I'll just pick Keon Coleman because they do. One thing that the Bills have kind of done this year with Keon Coleman is when they get in the red zone, they do like to throw that jump ball to him. Have you noticed that? When he's in there, they like to throw that jump ball to him, and they did it back-to-back that one time against the Seahawks because I remember Tariq Woolen talked a lot of crap to Keon Coleman after he broke up the first one, and then he went on the other side of the field and did it to him on the second try. But yeah, that's the only reason. I really like Sincere here. If you want a floor play, I definitely could see why Sincere would be your option.
Ray has 18 catches. Is it 18 catches? Yeah, 18 catches over the last 3 weeks for about 350 yards. So I wouldn't put him ahead of Downs, and I wouldn't put him ahead of Bucky, but I'd probably Sincere's close. So he's starting White, but he has Bucky and is K9 Walker?
Walker's out.
Who's K9?
Yeah, Kenneth Walker.
Okay,
Yep.
he's just been ruled out, so that's fine.
Yep.
Starting Rich. So I guess I'm with you. Bucky Irving's going to be in there with Downs for me.
Yep.
But if by chance Bucky gets ruled out, then yes, I would go Downs and I think McCormick. I'm not going to go Coleman.
Fair enough. Hey, go ahead and hold our spot. We had someone that gave a super chat after their question.
I got to find our spot. I'm kind of
it's two above the James O'Shea.
Okay. 0.5 PPR. Where is that damn question? I'll find it.
I'll remember it too. It's not far from my life. So, I don't know. I'm just going to go Vlog. Thank you, Vlog, for the 99¢. And right before he put that in there, he asked this question. Start two. It's weird because like when they only do 99¢, or like when they do like less than $5, it doesn't pop up on our screen like the other ones do, which is kind of annoying. They need to change that. So sorry we're about 5 minutes late to this, but start two, AJ Brown, Kamara, and Dowdle. It's 0.5 PPR and projected to be a very similar in points to my opponent. I have Hurts and a lot of other upside on my roster with Gibbs, Nico, and JJ. Okay, so he's got a lot of good floor options here with Gibbs, Nico, and JJ. I would say I'll start this off by saying I don't know if I ever look at projections. Those things are always so inaccurate.
Very rarely do.
Yeah, they don't matter to me. I don't take into account like weather. They don't take into account matchup a lot of times. So I don't worry about the projections too much. We just go with the best players, and this is rather easily for me. AJ Brown and Kamara.
I have Dowdle ahead of Kamara this week.
That's fair. I just think with a young quarterback like Jake Haener and not very many good players to throw it to, I could see Kamara getting 8 to 9 catches today.
Maybe. I could also see Kendry Miller getting 12 to 15 touches too.
Yeah. I don't like
splitting our answers on super chats, but AJ Brown easy. And here's what I'll say is you're going to be fine with either Kamara or Dowdle. I don't think either one of them are going to go crazy today. But I have Dowdle a little bit higher because he's getting 20 to 25 carries every week because he's finally Dallas realized he's the only guy who can run the ball.
Correct. Yeah, that's fair. I could see Dowdle getting more touches today. I just see.
Especially in half point,
Kamara,
right? If it was full PPR, then Kamara would be my answer.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hurts and lots of upside on the roster. Gibbs, Nico, and JJ. That's awesome, dude. Well, yeah. I hope you do well.
You're looking pretty solid for a win this week, I would imagine.
Yeah.
All right.
I found it. There we are.
You did. Yep. AR5 or May? It's May for me.
Your answer is.
Yeah, this is easy because I will say that the ceiling play is Richardson, but he is also not the floor play at all. Richardson is been very inconsistent this season. He could easily get you 2 rushing touchdowns today, which could be the reason he puts up more points than May. It's just he cannot throw the ball at all. May has some rushing upside. Touchdown upside's probably a little bit lower for Drake May. It's not that high for AR5 either. So I'll take the guy that I think is a safer play, get you more of a medium amount of points. So I'm going to look up real quick. I feel like Richardson put up quite a few single-digit points this year, and I don't think May has done it once.
I'm on Richardson here.
Yeah, Richardson. Last week had a good week against. He had a good week against New England with the rushing game, but yeah, I guess he hasn't really put up a ton of single digit points, but he's put up a lot of sub 20s.
He's been a lot better since he got benched. He's been a lot better since he got benched.
He is, but he also has a really, really tough matchup today throwing the ball. So I could see him throwing for less than 150 yards today pretty easily. So he's going to have to make up for it in the run game today. And Denver, I think, is just usually a super disciplined defense. The only time we've really seen them play horrible was against the Browns. So if the matchup was different, I would be picking AR5. I will say that.
Stay on Richardson.
Another $5 bet. Would we like Richardson over May?
Yep.
Okay. We got 2. I can remember those 2. Those would be easy.
That's awesome because I'm down 5 and then I'm going to be win 2 and I'll be up 5.
Okay. You have a huge advantage on the other one. You do have a huge advantage. You get 2 players to my 1. But you got Higgins and Evans over
and Higgins
JSN.
over I got to write that down because I will.
Go ahead, write them down. Write them down.
I will forget that.
We need to get some way to put our
Excuse me while I grab a pen.
Yeah, get a notebook. Jose Alvarez asks, rank my team. Ooh, QB, Sam Darnold, RB 1 and 2, Josh Jacobs, Brian Robinson. Wide receiver 1 and 2, CD, Shakir. Tight end is David Njoku. Hopefully you fix that because that's not a good option. Flex, DJ Moore, Juwan Jennings. That's a tough start for your offseason with Juwan Jennings or your playoffs. And then we got Sanders and Vikings as our defense. Or Sanders kicker, Vikings as the defense. I don't know. This team doesn't look – I mean, it's not bad, but it's not super great either. There's just so much inconsistency here, right? Brian Robinson Jr. hasn't been super great this season. Sam Darnold and Josh Jacobs have been staples for you, right? But CeeDee Lamb with no Dak Prescott isn't putting up crazy numbers. Shakir also okay wide receiver 2 option. I would have DJ Moore as my wide receiver 2. I'd feel better about him there with Shakir at my flex. This team isn't bad. I could see why it's a playoff team. I could see why it's also like maybe the 6 or 5 seed. So,
yeah, I think, on most weeks, Sam Darnold's a top 12 quarterback. Most weeks, Jacobs is a top 12 running back. Most weeks, Brian Robinson's, 10 to 15-ish. CeeDee Lamb, to your point, without some structure at quarterback, is probably more a wide receiver 2 than he was a wide receiver 1. Shakir's a 2-3. Njoku's been great. Moore's been really inconsistent with Caleb. And Jennings, other than this last Thursday in the snow game, Jennings has been really good. So he probably got you into the playoffs. Vikes D is scoring well, and Sanders, I don't know where he would rank in kicking. I think I'm with Bryce. I think you're probably in the runnings for winning your championship, but you're probably not the favorite. So probably that 4, 5, 6 range in your seating.
Yeah, DJ Moore's been really good since the coach has gotten fired. I will say that. He's been the most consistent out of those.
Well, except for last week, he wasn't that great, was he?
I thought he'd been good.
Struggled last week. Maybe he had a good second half. Oh, look.
Maybe you're probably right. I don't think I. No, I mean he had 10 points, so not bad. I mean, solid floor. Nothing special, but a solid floor.
If I remember last week, the Bears had 4 yards in offense in the first half.
Yeah, they did horrible. But having 10 points for that sort of offensive performance is pretty good, I guess, right?
Yeah, 6.
You might have did the best out of all their players.
The week before, 8 on 16 targets for 97 and a score. So he scored 2 out of the last 3 weeks, 7 for 106 the week before that. So yeah, DJ Moore's been just fine with Caleb.
Four double-digit points
written down.
Okay, good. At bench, he says his bench: Nix, Irving, Sincere, McCormick, Ladd, McConkey, Thielen. Wow, your bench better than half your starters.
Let's assume we have health here, and even if we don't, so if that's what you're starting this week, Jose, I think I would try to get keep your eye on Bucky Irving. I'd try to get him in, and I would probably try to get over who?
Yeah,
who is he flexing?
He's flexing DJ Moore, and Juwan Jennings is already locked.
Fuck. I don't know, but I want Ladd McConkey in there too.
Well, I'd probably put him in there over Shakir. Ladd.
Yeah, I would too.
I do want all parts of that game, but I'll take.
We need a tight end for our man Jose.
Yeah, Jose, you need to pick up a tight end off waivers, and when you do, you're gonna have to drop somebody. Probably you can drop Sincere McCormick and feel okay about it.
Oof, I guess so.
Yeah, I wouldn't
or
drop
if it's
any
a
of the
one
other guys.
QB league, if it's a 1 QB league, drop Bo Nix, but do it like 3 seconds before the game starts, so your opponent can't pick him up.
Excuse me.
Bless
All
you.
right. Thank you. I also picked Hunter Henry. Oh yeah, Hunter Henry. Wow, I can't believe he was on waiver wire. That's crazy.
Oh, good job. There you go.
What a great waiver wire addition.
Top 10 tight end for me this week. I like him this week a lot.
I like him moving forward. I've said it.
He's been good all year, and you've been on him all year, so I'll give you credit for that.
Yeah, especially since Henry or Drake May took over. Drake May does like to throw it to the middle of the field, and Hunter Henry's a big guy there. So played Jennings on Thursday, so need 2. Wilson need 2. Wilson, Smith and Jigba, or Judy. Wow. You need ceiling. We need ceiling play here, right? Because Jennings put up terrible stat line.
Yeah, so
it's the last 2 for me for ceiling
it is
plays.
for me too, the ceiling play, and I don't like it at all. But Wilson has
And
Devontae Adams that can take some stuff away from him that
Let,
brings him
let,
down a little bit.
hey, let me ask you something. If
Sure.
you would have had all 4 of these and you were it's Thursday right before the game, would you have sat Jennings or would you have started him?
Probably would have sat him.
I think I would have sat him too over these 3 options. Not to shit on you, Cody. I can see why you started him. I can see why you started him. It would have been hard not to.
I really like Juwan Jennings with Brock Purdy. Again, other than the snow game and then this whatever the hell happened last week, I get it. Well, I rank before Thursday. So what did I do?
I will say that if I was to have all 4 of these guys and I was like, I just need to start 2 in a flex or 3 wide receivers.
I had Jennings ranked 10th, so I would have started him.
I might have sat him. If I did start him, I would have started him over Garrett Wilson.
I had Cup ranked 8th. That looks good right now.
Yeah. Oof.
We have Judy down at 19, Garrett Wilson at 20. JSN is 12. So I would have started Jennings, JSN, and Jerry Judy. I would have sat Wilson.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I would have too. I would have probably been like, I want a part of this Thursday night game. Let me start Jennings,
But he's been so good.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
We're on first name basis with these quarterbacks. Mahomes or Mayfield?
I have Mahomes a little bit higher, I think. I do. I have Mahomes 4 spots higher than Baker. I don't love Baker this week. Chargers are a good pass D, and they get home with Mac and Bosa. So it could be a rough one for Baker. I have Baker down at 19 this week and Mahomes at 15. So it's a good quarterback week, no buys and stuff. So
yeah. I'll take Mahomes. As well. He asked. That's excellent. Baker, Darnold, or Winston? This is Darnold for me.
Darnold, Winston, Baker is think how I ranked it. Yep.
Okay, so I asked the chat Odunze or D-Hop earlier, and he went Odunze. Would you do Odunze over D-Hop?
Nope.
Yeah, I got in D-Hop, but I need the ceiling play.
Rome Odunze has been almost irrelevant other than garbage time against the Niners. He's really done nothing the last little while that I'll look up. Maybe I'm talking up my butt, but I don't think
while you do that, I'll be right back. I just got to use the restroom real quick.
All right. So the reason I think I'm off of Odunze as I look it up and try to chat and not look into the camera at the same time. This is great quality entertainment. Game log. Yeah, he had 4 catches for 5 yards and 2 scores, all in garbage time. And don't get me wrong, garbage time counts the same as regular time, but between that, he's had 2 and 3 and 3 and sometimes 5 catches. D-Hop has that chance to score. So if Odunze is going to do anything, he has to score. And I don't like him scoring that much against Minnesota this week, even though you can throw in Minnesota. I think it's more Keenan Allen. I think it's more Keenan Allen and DJ Moore than it is Rome Odunze. So that's why I'm going D-Hop over him.
And that was off that one question of the start for the ceiling. And we got an Amari Cooper answer. I'll take it. We'll take the Amari Cooper in there. That was my second option. Aaron Jones and was probably run under 2 over Pacheco. And yeah, but we'll see. We got a bet on it. Or we don't have a bet on that one, but
that's answering that for those 4 guys, right?
Yeah.
Where I was Jones and Irving. I was Jones and Bucky.
Yeah, that was Pacheco and Cooper. We're all over the place. Mooney or DK?
I think I'm DK here. Cody, thanks for being here, man. Another guy who's in here almost every week, if not every week. Darnell Mooney, I have at 33. DK Metcalf, I have at 29. So I'm DK. Mooney's been a little bit banged up. He's had some ankle issues and stuff like that. But I think they play each other this week, don't they? No, they don't. The Raiders play Atlanta Falcons. Been working on that. They play on Monday night.
2 Monday night games this week.
Yeah, I hate 2 Monday night games. Although it's easy for me to which one to pick this time. But I like DK a little bit more than Mooney. Like them both, though. Now I'm going to bounce and do the same thing you did. I'll be right back.
All righty. DK. I'm gonna go Cody. I'll go with DK Metcalf as well. My brother, who doesn't value defense, missed the playoffs on a must-win game. Ouch! His defense got 0. Yeah, I don't value defense very high, but I just stream it. So you got to definitely pay attention to your matchups for sure. Like I said, you got to. When I look at defenses, the first thing I look at is who can get sacks. Obviously, you get points for not many yards against and not many points against as well. Like you get a little, like, you start at whatever and it works your way down. But I look at sacks and turnover percentages, and you always there's always a defense worth streaming that can at least get some sacks or at least get some turnovers. So there's ways to not get 0 at that point. And running backs are Jacobs, Chuba, Gibbs, Isaiah Guerendo, and Pollard. All solid, running back choices. But sucks for him. Flex, PPR Flex 1, Reed or Ramondre? This is Ramondre for me. Reed really hasn't been very, very good. He seems like he gets like a touchdown and like not very many yards in recent weeks. So would you go Reed or Ramondre here?
Ramondre.
Yeah.
By a pretty wide margin.
Our guy with the defense is back.
What was the defense question?
It wasn't a defense question. It was because his
Matthias
got him 0. Yeah. That sucks for him.
Yeah,
you can always find there's always a streamable defense that can get some sacks.
I heard you say you look for sacks. I do the same thing. When I'm streaming, I'm just trying to find the team that's not going to get shellacked, right? So hopefully they don't go into I'm more worried about my defense going into the negative than I am with what they score some weeks, but I get it. You got to pay attention to it. If it's a position that you have to start in your lineup on a weekly basis, you got to pay attention to it.
I think every position should be valued. It's just you got to prioritize value, right? And defense and kicker are going to be last for me. Like it's just going to be because they don't score as many points. Heck, defenses score less points than any other position group in the league in most. My wife
and I argue about kickers all the time, and she thinks that they outscore the majority of players sometimes, and she's not wrong. Like there's a lot of times where your kicker will put up 15, 16 points and your flex doesn't, or your running back doesn't, but I just can't bank on that because the touchdown is such a variable and such a influential piece to what you're going to score, right? So like you can have a Nick Chubb game against Pittsburgh where I think he ran 12 times for 16 yards, but he scored twice. So it made it just that much more beneficial, right? But yeah, you got to value every position. It sucks for your brother. Yeah.
Full PPR. Lost K9 this week. Need 1 running back, 1 flex, 1 tight end, another below. Running backs, Bucky Irving, McLaughlin, Braylon Allen.
So if Bucky Irving's playing today, I think it's easy. If he isn't,
it's McLaughlin. Easy.
Probably.
Yeah. Yep. Wide receivers. J-Mo, Devontae Smith.
J-Mo for me.
Well, he doesn't need.
Was he starting them both?
He doesn't need a wide receiver. Doesn't need one.
Okay.
But I think we'll probably be flexing one of those guys. Tight end, Ertz, Schultz, Mayer, Muth. Thanks in advance.
So I'm assuming he needs one flex out of this, right? And a tight end.
Which is going to be one of those wide receivers for sure. Right?
Okay, so we're going to go with Bucky Irving. We're going to go with Ertz, right?
Yep.
And now
I don't care. I don't care that you're starting Terry. I don't worry about it too much with the tight end and wide receiver. There's going to be a lot of yards to be spread out. So
I got to go JMO as my flex here.
I think I do too. We saw the Rams throw all over that Bills defense the week prior. So a lot of both of these teams' defenses are kind of soft.
And both of these teams' offenses want to run. Both want to run too, right? With Saquon and then those two guys in Detroit. But I think Josh Allen forces.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I think he forces them to throw because Buffalo's going to put up points on Detroit.
Yep.
And hopefully beat them.
Yep. Detroit's going to I feel like Detroit's going to try and establish a run game early and have some really long drives to keep Allen off the field.
And they do it all the time, and they probably will because you can run on Buffalo, but I think Buffalo wants to score quick.
Yep. Yep. So easy for you. Irving, Ertz, JMO for us.
That's correct.
Yep. And then flex PPR, Breece Hall, Rashad White, or Marvin Harrison Jr. It's Breece Hall for me. Easily.
Yeah, it's close between him and Marvin Harrison Jr., but I'll go with Breece as well. It's just such a great matchup against Jacksonville.
Marv's getting less than 10 today.
Wouldn't be surprised. 10 could be 10 or 20, but yeah, probably. If he's got to score to get over 10,
if Gonzalez somehow is on him 80% of the game, he's going to be shut down 80% of the game, I think.
Can we get Trey McBride? Can we get Trey McBride a freaking touchdown?
That poor guy. He's just a PPR monster, though. Jeez Louise.
I have shares of him everywhere. I need a big game this week.
Yeah, I do too, but I'm on bye in all the weeks in the league. I got him. Rank my team. QBs are Sam Darnold. Oh, we already did this one. Sorry. We already did that one.
Yeah.
Okay. With Walker being rolled out, half PPR, start one. Cooper, Dell, or do I pick up Downs or Odunze and start them?
I would start Downs over both Dell or Cooper, so that's what I would do.
Yeah,
I wouldn't start a Odunze over either one of them, but I would start Downs over both of them.
Yeah, I'd go Downs, Cooper, Dell for me. Downs for sure. Yep. Need 3. So we're benching one of these guys. Evans, Cooper, Thielen, Metcalf. I think we're on the same one here.
I'm benching Cooper.
Yep, I'm benching Cooper as well out of these options. I like Mari Cooper strictly for a ceiling play. He makes me nervous as hell for a floor play, though.
I get it.
Wowzers. Look at this. Pick 2. Hall, Kamara, Charbonnet, Dowdle. Wowzers.
I think this might shock people.
You're probably going to be on the last 2. You are. You're on the last 2. You're on Charbonnet and Dowdle.
I'm trying to see where Kamara ranked.
I am on Charbonnet. Man, geez Louise.
I'm Charbonnet and Dowdle for me. No. Sorry. The previous question was a half-point PPR question where I took Dowdle over Kamara. I'll take Kamara here with Breece Hall.
Yeah, Charbonnet and Kamara for me as well. Who'd you take? Did you take Charbonnet and Kamara?
I did.
Yeah.
Dowdle would be next, though.
This is sickening to bench Breece Hall. Because I think he's actually the best running back. I think he's the most talented out of these guys. I just think that team sucks. Like, I don't think they're utilizing him correctly.
I think he's kind of checked out with how shitty they've been.
Yeah.
But he's talented, man. No doubt about it.
Half PPR, Waddle or Jonathan Taylor?
I'll take Taylor in the half. I would probably take Taylor in full PPR as well, but definitely Taylor in half. Yeah.
This is a good one here. Half PPR, Judy or Addison?
I can't. They're both smoking hot right now, but I can't not sit Jerry Jeudy. He's the primary target. Addison, as much as he looks like he's kind of been, he's the secondary target. So hopefully they both have a great game this week, but I will go with Jerry Jeudy here. It's
Jerry Jeudy for me as well. DK or Breece? And he asked the chat too. Good idea. Ask the chat. This is Breece for me.
I'm almost positive it is for me. Yep. Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry. I skipped one. What's up, guys? Need 2 running backs and a flex. Bucky, McCormick, Downs, Hall, and White.
Okay, my 2 running backs, and I'm just going to assume health is
Hall and Bucky.
Yeah. Yep.
Hall and Bucky. If we hear about Bucky being potentially limited, we need to put that to White probably.
We probably won't because it's later this afternoon. So we won't hear until about halftime of the early games.
Well, that's fine. They're on the same team.
Perfect. So So it's a Bucks back running back with Breece Hall.
And then Downs in my flex.
Yeah. Yep.
We playing Shakir over Brian Thomas Jr.? I am.
Oh, yep. I have a question that's got a minute.
Yep.
I think
we're almost to the end, so we can ask it.
I think they're very close in my rankings here. 1 sec.
Yep. I am. But Brian Thomas Jr.'s got not a very good matchup today.
I have him 2 spots higher than Shakir, so I'm probably starting Brian Thomas Jr.
Interesting.
I like Mac Jones.
Good morning. I don't. Good
with where he's going. Well, you shouldn't.
Good morning, gents. Going with Hunter Henry over Bucky for safety. Worried about Bucky getting injured again.
It's definitely the safe play. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I 100% could understand why you do this, and I really think Hunter Henry has a solid floor. Like 10 points for sure is the floor.
So we've talked about like if you had Jennings or Purdy or Cup in your lineup, if you were playing against guys that did, and you're looking good coming into today, then I would 100% go with Hunter Henry. Mm-hmm. He's the floor play here for sure. He might outscore Bucky even if Bucky's goes. Like Henry, would it surprise you if Henry had 6 catches for 36 yards and a couple of scores against Arizona? It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me, but I could see him more likely having 8 catches for 100 yards and no scores. So
because Drake may really
don't disrespect him. Don't disrespect.
He likes the tight end position. Actually, even Hooper's been solid.
Yeah, yeah, he has. Yep, absolutely. No wide receivers have been, but they have.
How fast they turn on poor Mac Jones. So sad. Maybe Josh McDaniels wasn't a bad offensive coordinator.
No, he is a good one. I wonder
is he going to North Carolina with?
That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? That'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
What the hell is going on there? That is weird.
I don't know.
You see all the things.
Gonna find himself some college babes. He's got some younger women now.
Well, they said obviously he's good at recruiting that age group. Was one of the things I saw online.
Heck yeah, that's what I like to see. He's living the dream. Tell me he isn't living the dream. Hawkinson or Ferguson? Hawkinson for me.
Yeah, me too. Quite easily.
Wow, look at this one. Bench 1 from Atlanta.
I am benching Malik Neighbors here. He's got a crappy quarterback. He's been battling injury. Like he's a starter on almost every feasible lineup I have, but
I'm benching Malik Neighbors here as well. That's gross.
DeVito might throw him 15 or 16 targets this week, but still.
Yeah, that could be only 6-7 catches. Is that back to DeVito?
Yeah. Yeah, Locke's hurt.
Start Shakir over T. Higgins for upside?
Nope, not for me.
I understand the question, but no, not for me.
I don't think there is the upside there. I think T. Higgins has as much chance. Twice.
I think he means upside for because that game being a shootout.
I get that. Who's Cincy got this week?
I don't remember who they have.
Because Joe is just like they got Tennessee, so that's not bad either. That team seems to have quit, and then Burrow just seems to be like F you and everybody right now. So he could. I get the question too, but no, I would not.
I need McBride to get a TD next week. My opponent plays pretty. Oh, okay. So he wants McBride to save his TD for next week.
I'm okay with that. If I can come to next week with you, then we're in lockstep.
Absolutely.
My opponent.
Yeah, he's playing against Purdy and Kittle. So
yeah, so you're looking good, dude. So maybe McBride could do both. Could he get one this week and next week?
We got a super chat. Another one. Full PPR pick 2. Hopkins, Addison, Downs, or Myers. This is Addison and Myers for me. Yep.
Downs is close, but not quite.
Yeah, I agree. It's Addison and Myers, though. Tyson follows up. Taylor, Monty, Dowdle, Charbonnet, Tracy. Start 3, half PPR. I'm benching. Starting 3. So there's 4 or 5 here. I'm benching Dowdle and Tracy.
I'm benching Taylor and Tracy.
Chad didn't help Brees it is. Yeah, true. He's like, Chad, help out. Pick one. DK or Brees. Nobody said anything. It's Brees for me, though. Yeah, for sure. And then he did ask that question. It's the question he asked, but then he super chatted it.
I think we missed. Oh, no, you got it. Sorry.
No, yeah.
I fell asleep at the switch. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, we do go in order. You don't have to donate to to ask a question, we'll answer it no matter what. But it does skip you to the front of the line. So if you're in a hurry or you want to just get your question and get out, and we appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm sure Rick loves it.
Yeah, absolutely.
James he knows Cook. About
it. Yeah, he does. Like, hey, decent amount of super chats today. Hey, James Cook or Shakir for Flex and Hawkinson, or Henry. So James Cook or Shakir. It's James Cook for me. Yes.
Okay, answer the tight end one. I got to look. That's don't know.
Hunter Henry for me at the tight end. You're talking about a team that where Hawkinson's the number 3 option.
So you're taking Hawkinson over Henry? That's interesting.
No. I'm taking Henry. I'm taking Henry over Hawkinson.
Oh, well, you should be the other way around. I'm taking Hawkinson.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm thinking which tight end gets more targets? Henry. Which one does also have the higher touchdown upside? That is Hawkinson.
So we're totally on opposite ends of the spectrum. I have Shakir a little bit higher than Cook this week. I think they need Shakir more than Cook to keep up in the race, and Hawkinson's getting better each week, so I will take him here. I just think Hawkinson has more chance to score.
Yeah, he definitely does. He definitely has more chance to score. I can't argue that. I just think Henry just is the main guy. He can get the most targets today, probably. So.
I like Demario Douglas as a DFS dart throw this week.
Oh, 100%. 100%. He's always a good DFS option.
If we have time here, I might do a little Patriots DFS stack.
It'd be cheap. You're really praying. Yeah, it will be
cheap.
Pick 2, Sutton, Lamb, McConkey. It's Lamb.
Sutton and Lamb.
Yeah, I think it is.
Lamb's still getting the target. He's just not scoring, right?
It's Sutton and Lamb for me.
Sutton's another wide receiver that's been on fire. Like if you had a team early in the season with like points. Addison, Judy, and Sutton, you'd be barely making the playoffs. But now all of a sudden they're like, just killing it, right?
Yep. Andrews or Downs? I'll go with the wide receiver and go Downs.
Me too.
Yep.
Ooh. This next one's tough.
Jordan Addison or Pacheco? It is.
I think I'm on Pacheco here. I'll look at my ranks, but I think it's close.
If you need a ceiling play, I could see why you go Jordan Addison here. But I'll go Pacheco with a safer floor and still touchdown, high touchdown upside, and 2 touchdown upside as well.
Yeah, I have Pacheco like 8 spots higher in my flex rankings. I just think Jordan Addison's going to cool down. He's not going to keep going for 100 yards and 3 scores as much as I would love him to. But yeah, I think Pacheco's, you could see the momentum building with him in the last couple of weeks. And I think they want to run the ball a lot. So it's closer than I would think, but it's Pacheco.
James Cook or Dowdle? I will go Dowdle here.
Dowdle.
Ooh, by the way, we got some draft drama.
Nice.
Commission a must-win game along with 3 other people. And on Monday night, the commish, I guess, didn't know the settings. It changed from playoffs 8 teams from 6. Commish wanted 8 from the beginning, but wasn't aware all season it was 6. In the second quarter, he changed it and was flip-flopping back and forth after people were contacting him about it. It stayed 6.
Get out of that league.
Yeah, I mean, I get it that it maybe prior to it starting, he's like, hey, it's going to be 8 teams in the playoffs, blah, 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 but he didn't switch the settings for it. And then that's the commissioner's fault.
Yeah.
But if I don't know, this is one where it's like you need some context of like, was this communicated to the league prior to the season? Like, hey, we're going to be an 8, and he forgot to change the settings. I could see why the setting change could happen. Like, hey guys, I don't know what I was doing. This is my fault. I need to make this 8, but it's like
that's the right answer.
Yeah, the commission changed the settings. The season-long settings stay. If he keeps it at 8, he's got to go. Yeah, I agree, but there's a lot of context here that can be like, if this was established way before, somebody should have caught it, even if the commission missed it.
I threw together just for fun this year.
But imagine you're the 7th seed and you're in this, and you're in your mind thinking this should be 8 people in the playoffs the entire time. That guy should have caught it, right? I would be like,
sure.
Hey, the settings are wrong. We need it. This playoffs. I'm supposed to be in the playoffs. So
but you know how we talk about this should be playoff time, and no matter what the situation is, and you shouldn't
Yeah.
play into week 18. Well, I run and I said, if you are in a league that plays into week 18, you need to get a new commissioner. Well, I'm commissioning a league on Sleeper, and I go to set it up the brackets. And I'm like, why can't I set up the bracket? It's because this is the last week of my freaking regular season, and my league plays into week 18. And I'm like, that's on me. So,
luckily, it's
happens.
Luckily, it's looking like starters might not get benched week 18. I mean,
It's dumb, though, right?
This could be coming down to the wire for the 1 seed, the 2 seed, things like that.
You could have the Vikings playing the Lions being a meaningful game. You could have whoever, Kansas City, Buffalo, and all those teams play being meaningful. But it's just stupid on my part. Like, I should have fixed it. I award league high in points and everything else. I'd handed out all the awards already and then went, oh, never mind. And I'm going to miss the playoffs. But whatever.
Ouch.
My own fault for being dumb.
Yeah. I mean, you could change the playoff settings throughout the season as long as the playoffs aren't there, right? I mean,
it would not let me last week. It said it's too late for you to change your playoff setting.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like it was like week 5 or 6, and then he noticed it. They'd be fine.
Yeah,
right. A lot of,
but I still don't understand why I can't change it.
Yeah,
I can understand why I couldn't set it earlier, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. That is weird.
Sleeper also doesn't let you change your playoff bracket seedings until you get into this week. So
I like that they have the reseed. I did the reseeding thing like the NFL does.
Yeah.
I
in my leagues, I give the 6 teams usually the highest scoring points team of the 7 that didn't make. So sometimes I have a team that's, like the 8th or 9th place team, but based on points, they get the last playoff spot. So I had to do that for one of my leagues.
TD only league start 1 QB, Tua, Darnold, Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels for me.
Yeah, just Jaden Daniels for me as well.
Hang on, does this mean like passing touchdowns only?
I think you just get points for TDs. So I bet a passing touchdown still might be 4, and then a rushing might be 6.
It might be Tua. If it's only touchdowns? No, I'm sticking with Daniels.
Yeah.
Because he could run for 3.
It would be between Daniels and Darnold for me, to be honest.
Tua's been cooking, dude.
A little bit, right? I mean, what
He's been smoking hot lately.
Has he really? I
think so.
I guess what Johnny Smith's been getting at. Yeah.
Maybe I just make shit up in my
head. He got 2. He's hit 2 touchdowns the last 2 weeks. 4 the week before that, 3 the week.
So he's been on a roll more than Daniels, but no one's been on a roll of these 3 like Darnold. But that said,
done for a lot of yards. That's for sure.
Jaden, because Miami all of a sudden can't run the ball.
Yeah.
But Jaden Daniels could score 3 on his own with his legs.
Correct.
So he's my guy.
Oof, this is rough. You hit a running back with Walker out, Williams or Hunt. It's got to be Williams. And you got to hope that he gets the touches today. They're always inconsistent with his touches. He could be the guy that gets 15 today, and McLaughlin doesn't get many. I don't know what's going on in that backfield.
It's good luck, man. But it's Javonte Williams. And I hope that's not Jamal Williams. If it is, then it's Hunt. That's tough.
There's another league with majority of the same players, and that's 8 teams. He changed it after someone said I'm out, GO, then realized the mistake.
I think, and I understand you want to make it enjoyable for the people in your league, but 8 teams is way too much.
Yeah, it is too many people in the playoffs.
I'm assuming it's a 12-team league. If it's a 14-team or a 16-team, then 8 is fine.
Yeah.
Ooh, standard scoring. You love this.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think I've ever played a standard scoring league. 1 flex, Shakir, Tank Bigsby, Marvin Harrison Jr. It's Shakir.
Is Tank close for you?
Yeah, it is. Standard? Marvin's far away. Yeah.
Marvin's the lowest, but I'm just trying to wonder. I can't remember who does Jacksonville play. It's not good. Cincinnati? Ooh, it might be Tank. Cincinnati's defense stinks.
They do.
I'll stick with Shakir.
Yeah, I'll stick with Shakir as well. I was upset with the flip-flopping in favor of 6 and the 1-2 seed. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think at the end of the day, pick a freaking setting and stick to it, right?
Yeah.
To be fair to your players in your leagues.
He did say it's 6 points for the running and passing touchdowns.
Oh, so that's that quarterback question?
Yeah.
Still like Daniels because he could run for 3 and throw for 2.
Yeah, I'll stick with Daniels there too.
But Darnold definitely over Tua in that format for me.
I imagine this means PPR pick 2. Khalil, Courtland Sutton, Adam Thielen. Courtland Sutton's number 1.
First 2 for me, and Sutton would be 1. Shakir would be 2. Thielen would be 3.
Man, I might go Thielen number 2.
I get it. Not me.
Yeah, I'll go to Thielen. And then we already answered one by somebody else. I went Shakir. You went BTJ.
Yeah. I think they're both pretty good. It's time for my question.
We're at the end of our questions. Yep. So let's go all the way up here at the top. Man, we stayed. I'm glad we started at 11. Geesh. Here we go.
Whoop.
Nope. You clicked on it. I clicked on it. Josh Downs, Marvin Harrison Jr., Drake London, Ladd McConkey, Malik Neighbors, Khalil Shakir, and Brian Thomas Jr. We're going to sit. The question worded poorly, right? But we're sitting 2 of these guys, right?
Sorry. All right, Chad, help me out.
We're sitting 2.
Okay, who are you sitting?
I'm sitting Marvin Harrison Jr. and Brian Thomas Jr.
Okay, I'm currently sitting Downs and Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, Marv, I just think is in a really, really bad week. And you know what? Downs for me was my definitely close option. So I don't mind that at all.
Coming back from injury, Anthony Richardson's a little inconsistent. So
I just feel like having everybody out for the Jaguars is actually not beneficial for Brian Thomas Jr. No Evan Ingram today. I mean, Obviously, Gabe Davis is on IR. But the benefit of that is he is the only guy to throw the ball down the field to. I do like Parker Washington today. I do. But, yeah, it's close. I can't blame you for that. I feel like
if anybody in the chat wants to throw in there what they would do, pick up McCormick.
Chat, which 2 of these are you guys benching? We got 13 people in here, right? Somebody say which 2 are you
That's a good point, though.
We're chugging at the same time. Oh, are you drinking something?
Yeah, we did in stereo. So talking about the one where it was Williams or Hunt, try to pick up McCormick. That's not a bad.
I would pick up McCormick. I'd pick up McCormick over both of them for sure.
Would you start him over both of them? Both
McCormick,
chugging at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Washington McMillan, probably Washington.
I'm going Parker Washington. I really think he's a good DFS play today too.
Okay, we got to go because I got to set a Patriots Jaguars DFS lineup somehow.
I know.
So I played DFS for the first time last week, and I don't bet a lot of money. I turned 30 into 60, and then I played again on Monday and turned that another 7 into another 30. So I'm up almost like $100. So I just keep playing with the little winnings that I get. I'm not going to get rich or retire anytime off it, but it's fun.
But that's it. We're caught up. Good time.
Biggest thing here is good luck to everybody. Bryce and I were thinking we were going to play each other this week. I didn't live up to my end of the bargain, and he exceeded his end of the bargain. Yeah.
So it worked out great for both of us in all reality, because you didn't want to make the playoffs.
I did not want to make the playoffs, but I sure also didn't want to finish 7th, which is worse. So I'm out, and Bryce.
What an amazing goodbye.
Such a troll. And Bryce ended up being the 2nd seed in that league because our buddy
T. Higgins. Fuck you, Matt Brown.
There you go.
T. Higgins, all he needed was like 11 points, and I was going to be the 3 seed and have to play the 6 seed. And then, but the guy that scored the most points throughout the entire season, he got screwed because he scored like the 2nd most points, end up playing the guy that scored the most points. And in that league, you only get money at the end of the year if you're the 1 seed, and top 3, right? That's it. So he lost the 1 seed because of that, went all the way down to the 3 seed. And I ended up getting the 2 seed because T. Higgins also sucked. So he got super screwed because I had a horrible bye week too. So all I had to do was lose for him to at least guarantee a first round bye. If I lose, he guarantees a first round bye. But I win and he loses, and he played the highest scoring guy. Oh man, sucks it's Custer, so I don't give a shit. So we got a couple questions that came in last minute though.
Okay,
but thank you guys for thanking us. Jaws.
What's up, Jaws? Jaws, how you doing, buddy?
Harrison, Dowdle, Ridley, or Metcalf? Flex one of them. I'll put in Dowdle.
Yeah, me too.
Flex 2. okay. I was like, wait a minute.
Ooh,
Bowers,
great pick.
McBride, Brian Thomas, Hopkins,
Great pick.
BTJ, or Jono. There's no tight end spot. He put BTJ in there twice. Bowers and McBride. Yep.
Probably, yep. Bowers for sure.
Honestly, for me, it's McBride for sure.
Well,
I think
Bowers
McBride
is like. Oh, hang on, real quick here.
Yeah, I know Bowers is amazing this year, but I just really think McBride's in for a better week than Bowers. Bowers' new quarterback situation that's worse somehow got worse than it was before. So yeah. Chiefs D or Broncos? It's Jameis Winston throwing the ball, which is good and bad for defenses. So it's the Chiefs for me.
Brock Bowers is wide receiver 5 on the air through 14 weeks. And McBride would be wide receiver 13. That's pretty crazy, eh?
And he did clarify it's their in this last one, it's Brian Robinson.
No tight end spot. I don't think I've ever seen a league like that, and I applaud it.
I've seen one, and
I'd like to play in a
I would like it. I like it a couple years ago. Now it's like I kind of there's so many good tight ends now. It's weird,
but that's what makes it even more fun, right? Like I think that's what we created tight end premium for, right? To bring relevance to it. But all that did was make the good tight ends even better, right? It didn't make the position any better. It just made having one of the better tight ends even more important. I just think no tight end at all. Fuck, I'd love to play in a league that was nothing but flex spots because I hate running backs. Anyway, that's my rant.
Yeah, stays the same for me. Bowers and McBride. Broncos or Chiefs D. We went Chiefs. Mahomes or Bo Nix. For the DFS, yeah. Mahomes or Bo Nix?
Mahomes. No, sorry, Bo Nix.
It's Bo Nix for me as well. Thank you, Cody. I feel like he asked some really tough questions for us today, too.
He always does. It's hard on us. Drake May's only $5,600.
Let me get in here. Hold up. I'm just going to do a double my money. Classic. We'll just do the early games only, so I can do one at night.
So I'll do this really quick. I'll go with Drake May. And then I will go Demario Douglas and Hunter Henry.
Okay. Yep. Thank you, guys. Good luck to everyone in your playoff matchups. I've only got one today, luckily. The other 5, we got a bye week, so that's cool. And good
luck. And we'll be back one more. We'll do another one next week.
Yeah, we'll try to do all the way to championship week. Why not, right? Well, championship week, we'll probably only do like an hour because
we'll see.
I can't imagine we'll get a ton of questions.
I think all these really smart guys that are in here this week keep winning, right? So we might as well keep doing this.
And we have anyone have eyes on Waddle? He doesn't always play the best when he's hurt. Could put in Hopkins or Jacoby. I'd put in Jacoby Myers.
Is Waddle hurt?
He's banged up a little bit. I know that. I put in Jacoby over him.
He's been really good too the last 3 weeks. So
he has.
I would start him over Hopkins, but not over Jacoby.
Mm-hmm. AJ or Evans? AJ. Nix or Goff?
Nix.
And pick one flex. Dowdle, Jay Cook, Myers, Shakir.
Dowdle.
Good luck, be slick.
Go get him, guys.
We'll see you guys. We will see you guys next week. Thank you.
See you next week for the semis.
Later.